watch list video for March 3rd, which will be, what's tomorrow, Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday already. My God, this week's flying by. And the SPY continues higher here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like 3 weeks ago, down close to 180 and now close to 200. We're just going to keep trading. I'm in cash every night, and we keep finding intraday trades, and we'll just keep doing it. But I mean, it is nice to have a bullish sentiment behind us. I don't know how long this is going to last, but we'll just keep finding the trades. So there's the SPY, super strong. Let's try that again. ICON. I don't love this one, all right, but it is kind of, you can picture a big cup and handle right here. So up over this range, see today's high was 880, this high back here, 880, this high right here, 880. I'm just going to write in my notes, 883-ish. If it gets up to 883, the high back here after the gap down, 870. So you did a little cup and handle. We're kind of up into the gap, but going sideways. You don't have any standout volume days. And really, if you watch my videos, I like to focus on recent, very high relative volume for individual stocks. So that's why I'm not sure why I started with this one, because it's probably going to be my least favorite. But you never know; it might just rip. AEZS. Now this is an example of a lower float stock. 625,000 shares today, so that's still not a ton of volume. But I do love this long sideways action. Had a huge move back here. I like to look for stocks that can do these kind of moves, okay? And so then today it rallied, and you've got great support below. So this might need to come in a day or two. But it had this big pop and it's flagging. So let's watch this for a long setup. What I'd love to see is like maybe a red to green tomorrow, something like that. And you could see this maybe pushing up to 4. And if it gets over 4, which was this high, in late January, it could certainly, I don't know about doing this, but it can certainly move with that tiny float. So let's keep our eyes on AEZS, EROS. It did this little pop out of a sideways range a couple days ago, gapped up a little bit, sold off, and then today closed near its high. So, again, I'm not really in love with this one. There it is on 15-minute candles, but closed near its highs, and there's not a lot in the way over Wednesday's high to maybe make a run at this $8 move. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that one. Again, you don't really have high relative volume, in the past. When I say recent, I really mean in the past 3, 4, 5 days. But we'll keep our eyes on it, all right? HSC really beaten up here from 6 down to 377 is where it closed today. Late in the day, this had some sort of insider buying announcement. Got a real nice volume spike, so let's switch to 15s here. So it really had nice volume at the end of the day. I just want to watch that for a potential long. Oversold. It could continue today's bounce tomorrow. SALT. I like this one. This is a nice pop here, and then you have a lower high and a lower high again. So today's high was 317. Yesterday's high 327, and the high of the big pop 347. So I'm going to put in my notes right now, 318 and 328 are two potential catalysts. All right, I like what I call stat catalysts. And if you get over 328, you just might run through this 347 and rip. So this one really beaten up, right? Nice support down here around $2. I like the pop and I like the flag. So that's a handsome chart right there. VHC really beaten up and a nice pop today. You can see the extra volume today. Maybe a red to green on this one. There it is on 15. So you can see the volume spikes. Didn't close near its highs or anything, but in a way that could work in our favor. So let's watch for a red to green in that one tomorrow. IO. This list is actually longer than I'm happy with, but when you consider, especially, we're going to add gappers in the morning too. But you had a nice pop in IO on, let's see, today was Wednesday. This would have been Tuesday, and then an inside day, but closed near its highs. Today, here's a couple numbers. 471 and 491 are two potential catalysts, a break of today's high and then a break of yesterday's high. And that is IO. All right, let's go to the next one. TRGP. Really nice pop here and a tight flag. So watch TRGP for a break above this flag. Today's high, 27.39. And the high of this flag, 27.61. So I'm going to put down 27.40. And again, I said this yesterday, I draw lines on my chart. So tomorrow I'll have an easy visual, right? 27.40 and 27.62 are potential catalysts. You hear me talk a lot about stacked catalysts. So there, you break over today's high, you might just push through that high. Let's look at it on 30s there. So you can see the move, and then you can see the sideways flag. TRGP. TERP. This one trying to break out on bigger volume today, gave back some of its early pop. I don't love this one, but it had enough of a pop today. I want to have it on watch. Let's see. That's TERP, VLTC. Today, this was actually setting up perfectly. Let me pan out here to 30-minute candle. So you can see this huge pop here, right, all the way to 540. If you're a trader at all, you're probably aware that VLTC can do this. Again, this is what I look for, stocks that can do this because they're lower float and just get these crazy moves. So then you've got, you know, a lower high, a little bit of a higher high again, and higher low. So it's grinding higher. And let's go back to 15s now. So remember, this high back here was 540. So this was setting up perfectly today. There's your high. There's a lower high. Today, a nice tight range all day. And so I called it right here at 461, looking for 466, 471, and maybe even a run through this high. So this one had the setup, and you see these spikes on these volume pushes. So this one was nice and quiet. So if we get through the high of the day, we probably knock down these dominoes and just rip. And then one of our members said that another guy who runs a service, he's an expert marketer, I'm not going to throw out any names, but emailed out to his 5 million members or whatever that he was selling. So apparently he held this overnight. So he took it yesterday, rolled the dice, and hoped. I don't ever hope. I just wait and take intraday trades. But if you know, he emailed out, and so his minions all sold it right here, which really squashed. You know, you would think he would at least have the fortitude to say, you know what, this looks like it's getting ready to rip to the upside. You'd think he would have been, if he could read a chart, he would have known to, you know, maybe wait another day. This one could have just ripped and sell into the spike. But instead, he put out his email for whatever reason. Maybe he's spying on me right here. And then, so I was able to, you know, say, hey guys, and thank God one of my members emailed me. So I said, hey, this guy just issued a sell, and his minions are going to sell it. So we got in here and really out right about here. It was that quick, and that's the teamwork in our room. But the reason it's back on watch is because his minions should be out now, and so you have great stacked catalysts here. Not going to touch it unless it breaks today's high. So 466, then you've got a 471, and we just talked about this. 490 and so on. So I just want to watch this because it's got nice support below. I don't think that guy reads charts. I think he just says, you know what, I'm going to buy a low float, I'm going to put out an email, and these people will push it up for me. But that's not really trading. That's never mind. I don't get into a rant here. I've been doing that enough on Twitter. G-Pro. G-Pro is a handsome looking daily chart now. You've got you know, this is a beaten up stock, but you have great support below, and then you have this little pop up here, and it's really holding up well along the 20-day. So this high back here on GoPro is 1342. Today's high 1324. So in my notes already, 1325. A break at today's high might be enough to push it through this 1343 area and maybe break out. GoPro gets many short squeezes at times, and it's got nice support below. Okay, so I want to watch GoPro. And then VSLR really beaten up today. I think the news was somebody's blocking the buy of maybe the financer of SUNE buying VSLR, which, you know, who would have ever thought SUNE buying VSLR? Here's SUNE's chart. Who would have ever thought that would still be on the table? But, you know, who am I, right? So now we have to decide, is VSLR really only worth, you know, $4.89 a share because that's off the table? If you go to the weekly, I mean, this is all-time lows for it. So I don't know enough about, you know, the company. It's not like I'm going to sit here and read balance sheets and such. I'm a day trader, but I think this might be overdone to the downside. All right, when that people calm down after that news, I'm pretty sure there's still value in. I can't talk VSLR. You know, there has to be something there, or why would SUNE SunEdison have been talking about buying it, which was probably back there in July. And back then, SUNE was trading at $32. So, right? So I think this is an interesting scenario. So I'm going to watch VSLR. I never just blindly buy something. So VSLR just goes on my bounce play watch list. But with a proper setup, that might give a nice little mini short squeeze bounce. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. We'll be looking for gappers in the morning as well. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.